Hey everybody, today we're going to be building a cabinet for a industrial supply house coffee room, and it's just going to be a bare bones European style cabinet. It's got to be kind of heavy duty. It's probably going to be getting a lot of abuse, and what we're going to be building it out of is 3/4 inch double-sided melamine and some 3/4 inch birch plywood, and the back will be a vinyl faced MDF. Not knowing exactly how much you know about cabinet building, the first step is getting a size for the cabinet, sitting down with a calculator and figuring out what size pieces you need. I guess I know there's programs out there that you can just punch numbers in and it'll give you a cutting list. But it's pretty easy to generate your own cutting list after you know the size of the cabinet. And I guess I'm just going to leave the camera run and go through what it takes to start cutting stuff up. So enjoy watching. On the right is the melamine, and on the left is your plywood. The face of the melamine board is a high pressure laminate, paper actually. The melamine is very heavy. I'm guessing, I don't know exactly what it weighs, but it probably weighs about 80 pounds a sheet. And the first thing that I like to do is take a sanding block with some paper on there and ease the edges over so that when I carry it I don't cut myself. Alright, so I spent some time earlier today making a cutting list. And I generally like to rip the material first, which means cutting parallel to the longest edge as opposed to cross cut, which is perpendicular to the long edge or grain. So it looks like I need pieces ripped about 23 inches, and normally I double cut everything, so I'll probably rip the sheet 23.5 and then cut it into pieces and then recut everything. Alright, so now I need to cross cut it, and I need two 30-inch pieces and a partition that'll be 29.5. And once again, I will rough cut it about a 1/4 inch big, 1/2 inch big. Check the pieces per square, and then cut them to final size. just cut the four pieces for the cabinet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to double check the pieces for squareness and adjust so that I get a square corner that I can reference off of to make sure my pieces are square. Well, I don't know if you can hear me over the noise of the bag system and the table saw, but the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to recut all my panels to size and recheck them for square. Every time you make a cut, you have to recheck for square because you never know. Something might have went out of whack and then you'll have a problem when you go to install. Well, after I started squaring them up, I kind of thought maybe you'd wonder how I did it. And depending on the material, there's all sorts of different ways you can do it. You could use a block plane. If you have a sled for your saw, you can do that. But with this melamine product, the easiest way is to use a router. And I'll just show you how I go about doing that. You know, the whole purpose of squaring these panels up is so that the finished product, the cabinet, is nice and square, that you can get your doors to fit properly. You won't have a problem getting it plumb and plumb and level when you go to set it, and it just makes you feel better when you know that you got a nice square cabinet. So the first thing I do is I check the sides with a square that I know is square, and this one's not too bad. It's about a 1/16 of an inch out of square. So I'll just go ahead and square it up real quick. And what I do is I know that my router cuts 2.5 inches from its fence, so I'll mark 2 9/16. So I'll be taking off about a 1/16 of an inch. Put my square back up there on the mark. A couple of pencil lines. Got a straight edge here, a couple of clamps, a little bit of time that this takes right now saves a lot of headaches in the end, and it gives you a much nicer product. And there you have it. the last thing we have to do is notch the screw rail and notch the center partition so that we can get this cabinet put together here. And now we have to notch out the panel. When you're cutting the melamine, turn your orbit off your jigsaw so it chips less. There we go. And a tip is the melamine seems to chip less if you use a dull blade. I don't know why, but if you put a sharp blade in that jigsaw, it just tears it all up. Alright, so all the parts are done. I'm going to get ready to assemble.